はい、皆さん、こんにちは。それでは、シャーロック・ホームズ、罪と罰、続きやっていきたいと思います。今回、第5章の旧植物の一見というところですね。はい、そしたら、まずは、植物園に行こうか。はい、旧植物園ですね。
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
はい、それでは植物園から盗まれた植物
Don't
に
touch
ついて
anything else.
調
Is
べる
that
みたい
clear?
な。
Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the deputy director of Kew
副園長
Gardens.
さんなん
And
だ
that。fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert! Show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself. But occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn.
あ、え
He died here
園長さん
just
が
2
2
days
日前
ago.
にここで亡くなってる
We're
の
very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He
父親だっ
was
たん
my
だ。
father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need
そう
me,
なん
I'll
か
be
青
in
に
the
なんかつい
reserve.
てない
That's the room
絆
next
創
to the
膏み
front
た
of
い
the
な。なん
large
だろうね。
greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
まあいいや、とりあえず、ここを調査しようか。
The plants were here. All
す
of
べ
them
て
were
が
stolen.
取られた。注
Do
意、
not
触るな。植物の
Here
一
is a
覧
list
表
of。the stolen plants.
なんて書いてるか読めない。あとは、なんだなんかあ、木。
These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from
海水なん
Louisiana.
だ。
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was
ここがア
found
ルバー
dead.
ト・ダンが発見された場所のようだ。R1。あ、なんかあるよ、なんかあるよ。破片
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
土の跡があると。で、破片もある。殴られたんじゃないのあ、違う、足跡調べたかったの。足跡の方を調べる。
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
なるほど。まだ調べる。扉調べられるよ。 破
The
損した
door was
扉。
smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new.
取
It
っ手
was
が最
recently
近付け替えられ
changed.
たようだだって。ほう。あとそこ。
The esconson was breached near the handle.
鍵が壊さ
The
れてい
door
る
was
と。
forced from the inside of the colonial collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the
植民地
colonial
展示室
collection.
を調べた方がいいと思うだって。オッケー。まだ R1 出てたな。なんだろう。けどもう調べられるところないよね。まあいいや、とりあえず、この部屋を一旦全部調べよう。扉。あ、ここ開けれるんだ。あとは、特に調べられそうなものはないかな。うん。この部屋ではこんなもんか。そしたら、ここ R1 出るんだよな。いやけど全部調べたと思うんだよな。あ、まだここにあった。
Very strange. Half of
洗剤。
the smell is strong. It is a detergent.
何かが床に落ちてる。石の破片だって。
This broken fragment
何か
was the
強い
result
一撃
of
を
a
加えら
heavy
れて
blow.
砕けたようだ。これで殴ったってこと？あ、待って、回転させよ
A fragment of
う。
marble.
大理石の破
Most
片。
likely
おそらく像か
chipped from a
彫刻から
statue
欠
or
けたものだろう
sculpture.
だって。なるほど。まだ調べられるものは窓。
These windows were perfectly cleaned.
きれいに洗
Part
浄さ
of
れ
this
ている。
greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
右上の R1 が消えたね。あ、ここまた R1 出た。なんだ。まだ多分調べきれてないとこあるんだろうな。R1 消えないってことは多分まだね、調べきれてないと思うんだよ。ここらへん。扉。破片。あ、この破片まだ調べられるわ。よく見たら。どこだ？土があるけど、あと調べられそうなものがない。
Soil.
なんかだけどここまで白くなっ、調べるが白いから何かできるんだけども、なんか多分ピースが足りないんだろうね、きっとね。何かが足りないと。お、なんかあ
According to
る。
this, they have light and moisture control.
温度
in
調整
some
と
parts
光
of
管
the
理ができ
building.
ると。
According to this, they have light and
同じ
moisture
同
control.
じですね。
Dry tropics.
熱帯乾燥植物園。あと調べられそうなものはない。ここも開けれる。広いな今回。前回のアビー屋敷はめっちゃ狭かったのに。広いな、調べるとこたくさんあるよ。
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used.
ん？何を調べられるんだ？
The symbol is not from Kew
この
Gardens.
商標は旧植物園のものではないと。じゃあどこなの？あんま行き過ぎると
Dry tropics.
道に迷うぜ。特に調べられそうなものは他にない。渡さん部長、邪魔。あ、ごめん、なんか一人称指定になってた。あと特になんもないか。ここら辺も調べられない。
There is a smell of burning.
焦げ臭い匂いがする。ほんとだ。なんか焼いてんのかな？ R1。焼却場。割れた鉢。調べる。
The symbol is not
この
from
商標は
Kew
旧植
Gardens.
物園のものではない。
A broom handle was half burned.
ほうきが焦げてる。扉に取ってあるじゃ
Door
ん。
handle Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
植物
The
のかけ
plants
ら。
were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
防毒マスク。
A protective mask. Someone set it alight.
誰かが火を
but
つ
it
けた
did
ようだ。
not burn.
だが燃えなかった。
The remains of a picture frame.
終わった。調べきったかな。あとはどっか調べられそうなところはあるのかな。あ、こっちから行けねえ。くそ。ワトソン君とは話すことはない。案内地図。
Colonial collection.
植民地展示室。
Water lily
水蓮温
greenhouse.
室。最初にいたのがここ水蓮温室だね。で、この熱
Farmhouse.
帯性植物園、乾燥園を見たのかさっき。乾燥園を寝て今こっち出て今ここにいるよと。
Ventilation.
ここに換気装置がある。種の園と
Nest.
なんかよくわかんないのがあると。
Director.
事務室の扉もある。
Colle-
まだ調べてないとこある？あ、これだ。貯蔵
Reserve.
室。
Direct.
あと調べてないとこは？あれ？だいたい調べ終わったら画面が戻るんだけどな。まだ調べてないところがあるのかな。あ、
A
これか。
map of Kew Gar-
OK。ただここがなんか多分なんか発電室っていうかだよね。なんか調べられ
A
る。
water
貯
tank.
水槽、
A ventilation system.
換気装
It
置。
should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
こんなもんかな。よしと。そしたら、あ、こっちなんだろう。こっちもなんかあるぞ。案内地図だって。あ、けどこれさっき見たよね。けどなんかこの、興味ある対象物になってるから、またここ調べなきゃいけないんだと思う。特にここは何もないと。ほう。完全に道に迷ってる感じがする。
Locked.
ここ閉まってんのか。こんにちは。お話をお伺いしたいんですけれども。ダンの死。
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Would you unlock the doors for us?
Do you expect to find the stolen plants there? I am sorry, but those rooms are private.
部屋は私室だから開けられないって言われてた。こいつ怪しいな。偉そうなんだよ、お前。禁止、安価なメガネ。汚れてるよ、ここ。汚いす。汚い襟。未婚。偉そうだもんね、だってね。庭師の手。
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
では僕たちは捜査を進めます。綺麗これ。調べられない。お、なんかイベントが入りましたね。何かご用ですか？ここどこだったっけ？
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
アルバートのお仕事表みたいな。特に何もないかな。アルバートと話すのはちょっと後で。 ああ、これがあれか。熱帯のところか。調べられそうなところは、特段ないかな。で、多分ここの扉入れば、最初の部屋に戻る。
According
うん、多分そうだと思う。シーレーン。うん。これは
according to the
うん、オッケーオッケー。いろいろ調べられるね。で、ここで最初のとこに戻ってくるということですね。なんかこれ壊れてるね。
this sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it.
しかも血ついてるじゃん、ここ。
Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound.
この標識に思いっきり倒れて、怪我をしたと。うん、まあいいや。とりあえず、アルバートに話聞いてこようか。これで多分一通りぐらい見たんじゃないかな。今回ちょっと長そうだね。マップが広い。調べるとこが多いよ。こんにちは。ここで働いてるんですか？
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the
顎
University
どう
of
したんで
London.
すか？
You're following in your father's footsteps, then that is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
じゃあ調べようか。ちょっと目が充血してるように見えるんだけど。そうだよね。最近泣いている。深い悲しみに暮れている。顎。これ気になってます。ひげ剃りのひげ剃りか、あなた。綺麗な手。庭師の手とは思えない綺麗な手ってこと？
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Excuse me, but I have to...
剃ってどうするんだ？ちょっと待って。モンタギュー・ダンが最後を遂げた場所を調べるのと、植物を見つけ出す。ってことは最後を遂げた場所をもうちょっと調べなきゃいけないのかな？最後の場所って水レーンのとこだよね。ここだと思うんだよな。ここでまだ調べるべきところが、あれこんなのさっきあったっけ？あったんだな、きっとな。あと調べられそうなところどこだ？ここの、あ、ここは関係ないか。いや、調べたと思うんだよな、俺は。この R1 でのめっちゃ気になるんだけど、絶対これだと思うんだよ。破片。けどこの破片も調べられないんだよな。緑になってるもんね。どっか白いところは。あ、なるほど。一回 R1 を解除しなきゃダメなんだ。
Of a flower pot. It fell down here.
うん。これで終わったと思いきや、あれまだ R1 出てんな。まだ R1、あ、これだ、この8だ。
This pot was broken fairly
最近割れたようだと。
A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. All the clues around here are quite suspicious.
何やら疑いを抱くものがあると。想像力を働かせよう。イマジネーション。心臓発作で鉢をひっくり返してからバタンと倒れてしまったと。心臓発作を起こって、あ、出て、こう、鉢を落とした後倒れてしまったと。なるほど。どういうこと？これ何？どうすればいいのこれ。これとこれを、順序を見る。L2。ぶつかって倒れたよと。順序を作成する。1と2でいいんじゃないの？あ、扉を壊すのが、最後か。最初か。だから、まず最初に扉を壊して、鉢をひっくり返して倒れると。この順番じゃないか？ で、いいんじゃない？どうこれで。最初に壊して、鉢を倒して、倒れると。こういうことだよね。閉じ込められてたのかな、あの部屋に。
Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
あ、想像するが完了した。ここで、洗剤バーって置いてあるじゃん。それでさ、なんだろう、ちょっとこう、一酸化炭素中毒ではないけどさ、なんかこう、具合悪くさせて、もう具合悪いからここなんとか出ると。あ、これ調べられるね。で、出るために扉を壊したけども、具合悪くて、鉢を壊し、倒れてしまったと。そういうことかな。ダンは閉じ込められていたと。うん、これだね。検視解剖を行う。モンタギュー・ダンの検視解剖を行う。彼の死には疑わしい点がある。なぜ彼は植民地展示室の扉を押し破ったのか。何のために室内の一部を片付けて掃除したのか。罠だったのか。それともただの事故だったのか。と。じゃあ検視を行いましょうか。ということは警察署に行けばいいのかな。ちょっと待ってね。警察署にじゃあスコットランドヤード行きましょう。
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
はい、それでは検視しましょうか。検視場所はですね、地下なんですよ。ここですね。はい、じゃあこれから検視を開始します。遺体を調べる。
First of all, let us carry out an
外
external
部検査
examination.
を行おう。
There are
胸部
no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
何外部検査って顔。ああ、額
There
傷
is
つ
an
いてるね、
injury
やっ
to the
ぱ。
skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
目は
The vessels and the
血管と
pupil
瞳
of the
孔は
eye
正常の
appear
よう
quite
だ。
normal.
鼻と
The
口。
air from the lungs
肺からの
carries
空
a
気に
faint
かすかな花の
floral
香りが
aroma.
漂っている。
No redness, stains,
発石、
or
刺し
bruises.
傷、または打撲傷もなし。左腕は
Nothing suspicious
疑わしい
here.
点はないと。
Now, let us
では内臓を
examine
調
the
べてみようじゃない
internal
か。
organs.
あ、そこはやっぱ見せないのね。やっぱそうだよね。びっくりした。俺モザイクかけなきゃいけないかなと思っちゃったよ。あ、こんな感じになってるのね。オッケー。心臓は
The heart's blood vessels show
病
no
的兆候
pathological
を
signs.
示すものはない。
The heart tissue shows no
あ、
visible
これも病
pathological
的兆候を
signs.
示すものはないと。これ心臓発作だったんだよね。じゃあ肺は
The lungs are congested and
水
edema.
腫の症状があるだって。何詰まってるってどういうこと？あ、なんかあるよこれ。
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right
未
lung
知の
is
植物の毒素が
damaged,
原因になったん
most
だろ
probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
う。じゃあ次これは肝臓。
The liver is enlarged.
膨張してい
It
る
would
依
seem
存
that he was suffering
アルコール依
from
存症に苦しんでいた
alcohol
ようだ。はい、じゃあくるっと回して。
addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible
あ、
pathological
病的
signs.
兆候を示すものは確認できないと。OK。あとなんかこれはこれなんか胃。
The stomach tissues show no visible
あ、確認で
pathological
きないのね。
signs.
色変じゃない？なんかこうバナナみたいじゃない？
There is a small amount of content. It appears
死
that
ぬ前
he
に少
breakfasted
し
lightly,
死
only
ぬ
a
少
short
し前
while
に軽い
before his
朝
death.
食をとったようだって。
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn,
中毒で
the
死んだ。
director of
正確には
Kew
植物
Gardens,
中毒だっ
died from
て。
poisoning, plant poisoning to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is
殺
murder.
人だ。
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder.
まずはこの危険な植物を見つけ出す必要がある
Murder
と。
of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson. It is time now to open
園
the
内中の
doors.
扉を開ける時が来た
Even
ぞだっ
those
て
in。the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
お、モンタギュー・ダンについて情報を集めるになったね。あ、殺害者を見つける。いいね、いいね。面白くなってきたね。検視を行うが完了しましたと。有害植物を見つけ出すと。あ、一応ダンの所持品は調べられるんだ。クラブ会員証だって。どこのクラブですか？
A membership
ロンド
card
ン
for
ク
the
レストの会員
London
券。
Crest Club.
じゃあここに行けばダンさんのことがわかるんじゃないの？ウェイン&サンズ印刷会社 NN 社社長 F ウェイン様へ友よ。給植物への大展示会の張り紙は素晴らしい出来だ。だが全職員の名前を挙げる必要はないはずだ。私の名前だけで十分だろう。はい。
A
ペン
beautiful feather
羽ペ
pen
ンだ。
of a
質
good
問いい
make.
だって。
This watch is of
非
great
常に価値
value.
のある時計だ。なるほど。ダンの所持品は終わった。ここ入れないでしょ。レストレードいる？レストレードいないのか。
Locked.
ここ閉まってんのか。オッケー、じゃあ植物園に戻りますか。はい、戻ってきました植物園。しかしそろそろいい時間なんですよね。とりあえず開かない部屋開けてくれと。片付け、おお、すごいたくさんあるよ。片付けられた植民地展示
Mr.
室。
Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying
なん
up.
か怪しいね。言葉がこ
I'm not sure
う、口ごもってるよね。
But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
偉そう。私は忙しいんですみたいな。
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
こいつ怪しいな。
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say?
どっかの会
He
員
was
証
a
あったも
member
ん
of the
ね。
London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
鍵開けて。
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
アルバート・ダン。
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so,
全く役に
and
立
I
たな
can
いだっ
only give
て。
him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who was such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
マーガレット・ホワイトさん。
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time.
魅力的な女性らしいですよ。それはちょっと調べたい
She
ですね。
possesses a great talent for
お
botany.
しかも植物学の
You should
才
take
能を
a
持っ
look
て
at
るん
some
だっ
of her
て。
experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention.
モンタギューなんて
How
死んだ人
could
でし
an
ょ。
intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
有害な植物知りませ
Tell
ん
me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
なる
Thank you,
ほど。
Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
ホワイトさん調べたいな。あとアルバートにも話聞いてみようか。あ、いたいたいた。ホワイト城。
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across
お、
from the
種
large
園にいるん
glasshouse.
だ。
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your
け
relationship
ど
with your
父親との
father
関係は
may have
緊
been a
迫したものだったっ
strained
て
one.
聞いてるけど、目が赤いじゃ
I
ん。
cannot say that he was a kind man.
うん、けど
He
なん
never
か
listened to me
泣い
at
た
all.
ってことは
He
さ、
forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over.
彼は犯人じゃないんじゃないの？死を嘆
I
い
have
て
to
る
follow
って
his
ことでし
path.
ょ？
I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
マーティン・ヘイ
Would
ミッ
you
シュ
please tell us
副園長
about
あの
Martin
嫌な
Hamish, the
副園
deputy
長教え
director?
て。
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish
Eh?
is not
Kew-
and has never
eh?
been the
副園長じゃあり
deputy
ません？
director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
だけど自分で副園長出てたよ。
That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only
任期
has the
最
honor
長
of being
従
the
業員
garden's
という
longest
名誉だけ
serving
です。
employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
部屋の鍵は
Do you
あな
hold
た持っ
the
てんでし
keys
ょ？
to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank
とりあえ
you,
ず
young
更
man.
衣室以外
We
の
shall see
鍵
you
は
again soon.
もうもらったってことかな。ってことはあとホワイト城、その噂のホワイト城、魅力的な女性であるホワイト城を探しに行こう。どこだったっけ？種園だよね。私のマッピング能力が正しければ。ここは
Nursery.
育苗施設。ここはだけ種園ではないか。育苗だから、まあ、苗のやつ、今度調べよう。ここら辺は今度調べる。まず種園行きたい、種園。種園はここもあ、ここ種じゃないの？多分種から苗を育ててるだけだ。ここが種園かな。そうだね。
Seed house.
よし、ホワイト城。今日はホワイト城にあって終わるんだ。ホワイト城？あなたがホワイト城ですか？こんにちは。
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White.
はい、有名な探
Excuse
偵です
me, but
私。
are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a
何か
case?
事件ですか？なんか盗まれたんでしょだって。
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss.
ダンさんが亡くなったや
After
つ
the
ね。
tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
展示室が空になってるけど、なん
Would you
で？
happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
あそこには働いてないと
Do。you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
園長との関係は？
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature.
Oh, yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert,
あ
who
あ、
was
一応やっぱ
naturally shy,
父親は本当
suffered
に
because
息
of
子のことを愛していたんだ。だから厳しくしてたんだ。
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
じゃあこの子のことを調べましょうか。なんかブローチあるよね。あ、何顔？高価な香水。一学生がつけるにしたらちょっと高価な香水なのか？手はすごい荒れてるね。ピンク色のシミ、過去の栄養失調、ペラグラ、貧しい家。貧しい家のに何高価な香水つけてたの？あとなんか今、青く光った。これだ。未婚。はい、完成しました、人物像。
Thank you, miss.
お嬢さんありがとう。
None of the three people who work at Kew Gardens know
国民
why
展示室
half
の
of
一
the
角が
colonial
片付けられてい
collection
る
is
ことを知
clear.
らない。ということは
Someone is
誰かが
lying.
嘘をついて
It
い
is
る。
obvious.
なるほど。そしたら、ちょっと調べさせてね。まだたくさん課題がありますね。まだまだ時間がかかりそうです。ということで、とりあえず今日はこの辺にしときましょうか。とりあえず、必要な話は聞いたので、次回は新しく入れた場所、さっきの育病園とかさ、この種のところとかも、いろいろ調べながらですね、情報を集めていきたいと思います。それでは、最後までご視聴いただきどうもありがとうございました。また次回も見ていただけると嬉しいです。それでは、お疲れ様でした。バイバイ。